Whatever. I have something I want to talk about. This is really pissing me off. This is ridiculous. The New York Times wrote a story this week about how cereal is basically dying, and it's looking for its next chapter. Now,
you're talking about the breakfast and not the podcast, correct?
The podcast is doing some weird things this season, but they're still doing okay. I still kind of prefer that as a TV show if they can make that happen someday. Because sometimes I listen to it and I'm on the train, there's a murder mystery, and I get lost in thought. Cereal, the edible breakfast bowl of fun, crunchy shapes and weird circular things.
The most fattening way to get a toy.
A thing we don't really understand is losing its luster as the kids of today grow up. Now, I always talk about how we grew up with things like Super Mario Brothers and Sonic the Hedgehog, so we have like weird nostalgia for stuff like that. But kids today love Angry Birds and they love Minecraft, and they're not really connected to those things anymore. So 20 years from now, they'll be retro for those kind of things. We grew up with cereal. So we are always talking about cereal.
Yeah.
You and I have conversations about cereal constantly. Cereal toys, our favorite cereals growing up.
We're kind of stupid.
Yeah.
We're kind of stupid people.
Now, like, where this story really breaks me is that there two of the main factors that are stopping millennials, and I don't want to say that like it's a negative word.
We're technically millennials.
Yeah, technically are. From eating cereal is that, one, it's a mess.
I mean, yeah,
it's real hard to clean up. That spoon and that bowl and that milk, total disaster.
It's a mess if you try to eat it while you're skateboarding.
It's like making a lasagna in a car. It's, oh God, it just gets it. No, it's not. It's so easy to eat cereal. What's wrong with you? Anyway, the other thing is that we are constantly rushing. Everyone's got to be out the door. Everything's on the go, on the run. Like our coffees are to go. Everything's got sippy cups.
Yeah.
We're big babies.
We made energy shots because they're faster than drinking like a large beverage.
Yeah.
You know, you get like bars. You get those weird
Yeah.
protein ketchup packets that Lance Armstrong eats.
Why don't we just hook ourselves up to like catheters on skateboards and just fill that with our nutrients?
I mean, that's probably the future.
Basically, we're going right.
Geriatric science.
So cereal's going away. It's going the way of the Tyrannus and other dinosaurs. So I think that like it's only proper for us to look back not at the best cereals of all time because you've heard enough of that from us. But and I don't think it's their fault. But let's take a look at some of the worst cereals ever made, and maybe we can blame these cereals for the inevitable death of cereal. Max, I don't know how you were growing up, but I was the kind of kid that would go grocery shopping with my parents specifically to go in the cereal aisle, see what was new, or see which had the best toy, and then buy that cereal. Mm-hmm. It was rarely the cereal that was the best was the one I bought.
No.
Which is stupid. I don't know if I make any patterns like that as an adult of like buying something just because it comes with a toy or just because it's new and not because it's good. But I did that a lot of cereal as a kid.
It was a golden age.
Yeah.
It was really not a good time for childhood obesity. But
one of the worst times I was ever duped was this cereal. It's called Hidden Treasures. Okay. How do I explain Hidden Treasures? So Hidden Treasures were pockets of sugar sand that were basically like, it was like Pop Rocks and Pixie Sticks jammed into these little pouches.
You know what that is? It says right there in the corner, it's real fruit juice added.
It actually looks like the scene in every movie where like a cop arrests a drug dealer and then cuts open the bag. That's what they look like. So all of these things had different flavors.
That's crystal meth, my friend.
And unfortunately, the people who made the cereal didn't know that when you eat cereal, you don't eat them one piece at a time. So it made no sense to be like, what's in this one? What's in this one?
One of the worst things you can do to cereal is to accidentally pour juice into it if you're too tired. I think everyone's done that at some point where they're like, I'm going to have a glass of orange juice. And you're like,
Yes.
So why putting real fruit juice into cereal is not the best idea.
No, it was disgusting. This was also incredibly sugary. You probably missed this because I think it was pulled off the market very quickly.
Yeah, this is even a sample, not for resale.
Yeah. Number 2, Dunkaballs.
Oh, my favorite, basketballs, the most delicious of sporting goods.
Wheaties got tired of putting athletes on their boxes and one day said, how do we get kids to eat this? Because tricking them into thinking that they'll one day become powerhouse millionaires that dominate sports.
The breakfast of champions for kids.
Yeah.
Because kids can't be champs. Sorry, kids.
So this was actually
Sports are for adults.
This was like filling a bowl with wet marbles and crunching on them. It was just absolutely revolting. So you would buy these things. I swear to God, this box weighed 25 pounds, and you would pour this thing in here. This is not even the breakfast of champions because that's Wheaties. They just added for kids on there.
Yeah.
So this was
kids are
was
stupid.
Awful.
They'll eat anything. They'll eat sporting goods. They'll eat toys. Mm-hmm. What else will they eat?
If you missed this, OJ
again. Not a good setup.
No,
juice in the cereal is bad news.
So OJs were this cartoon cowboy who basically came out with a branding iron who stamped oranges and ruin them and then juice them into this bowl.
Ah, yes. Oranges, the favorite food of cowboys?
Yeah.
What?
But you remember, like, growing up, there was, like, part of that complete breakfast, and they showed a picture of the orange juice next to the bowl of cereal, and there was always a piece of toast or something. Like, some kid woke up and just had, like, 7,000 calories. OJ's by Kellogg's, the guys who pretty much, like, defined cereal, said, you know what? Pour that orange juice right in the bowl like a sick boy.
I don't like it.
No,
I don't
it's
like
awful.
it one bit. What else we got?
I'm firing shots at the entire. Hold on.
You are going to make some people mad.
I don't really care. I'm firing shots at the entire Captain Crunch family over this one.
The Captain Crunch cinematic universe?
Volcano Crunch, which is an absolute disaster. They came with Pop Rocks to pour in there. Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks. Or Oops All Berries, which is what happens when you legalize a mistake. Captain Crunch are basically, they look like floaties that kids who can't swim wear in the pool.
Yep.
And they tasted like old corn and couches. And you put it inside of a bowl. And Captain Crunch, who is like the last guy on Earth you want to see in the morning, is a drunk sea captain who, like this admiral or whatever the hell he is. I guess he's a captain. He's not even a captain, right? He doesn't even dress like a captain.
Yeah, he does.
And he used to fight these things called the Soggies, who were basically just like these boogers that lived in the ocean that would come attack his ship. Why is any of this part
I think it's
of my breakfast story?
That he's like, he's so big about the crunchiness of the cereal and fighting the sogginess that he will make a cereal that stays jagged and sharp even when you're chewing it. So it cuts up the roof of your mouth. I'd rather have soggy cereal than have that weird ripped up mouth feeling that Captain Crunch causes.
And I'm sorry, a lot of people are, retro revisionists. They really love the cereal. You're wrong.
Go get some. Mess up your mouth. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, screw up your mouth. And finally, I'm going to just throw shade at the entire Ralston Cereal Corporation. Now, before you get mad at me, I love Donkey Kong, Batman, Ninja Turtles, Gremlins, Urkel, all the other stuff they did, Bill and Ted. All that stuff is great. Those properties are awesome. These cereals are trash. They are all basically variations of different disgusting corn shapes, turned into different little things that make no sense. Like Gremlins were just like hands or claws. Donkey Kong was like barrels. Nobody wants to eat a barrel. The Batman was just the Batman logo. It had nothing to do with Batman. Didn't even give him his weapons or anything. Urkelos was just like, hey, remember when I had fruit? No, we didn't. We don't. You remember when you stole cheese from your neighbor's fridge?
Urkelos sounds like a really good sandwich shop.
And Ninja Turtle cereal made no sense at all. They at least tried to shake it up by putting marshmallows in there, and I think those are little panguses. But they also gave you nets.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles, they always use nets.
Yeah, remember that time the Ninja Turtles used nets?
They loved it. They were always throwing nets at stuff.
Now
nets are actually one of the #1 killers of turtles.
Ralston is actually a cereal company you used to see on pretty much every cereal. The reason they went away is because they're gross. And the reason they existed is because Ralston is a subsidiary of the Purina company, who makes dog food for aminals and cat food for worse aminals.
They probably use the same molds, because the cats and dogs, they like to eat stuff shaped like things that interest them.
Exactly.
I think they have turtle-shaped dog food, because dogs love to rip apart a turtle.
David Joseph Wesley on Twitter says, I remember OJ's cereal. Nasty, but kind of good. That's a weird product review. So yeah, cereal's going away, and if it's up to those guys, I don't really mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I really miss Oreo-O's, because they were, like, the thing is, they need to start releasing cereal as a dessert.
Yep.
I think that would be kind of a good way of sidestepping that whole, like, this isn't healthy for kids. It's like Oreo-O's.
So they started doing that, I think, a couple years ago, where they were just like, they did those cereal bars that had like coagulated milk in them. Have you seen those things?
Oh, yeah, those are weird.
It was like a milk cream.
Yeah, which is pretty much just Oreo frosting, I think.
I really liked s'mores cereal with a Z.
Oh, yeah.
It's extreme.
Remember how they did Rice Krispie Treat cereal, which was like, there's already Rice Krispie cereal, but they were like, let's just screw it. Let's just put sugar in there a whole bunch already.
Michael W. says, you're on watch, son, firing shots at Captain Crunch. But seriously, you guys rule. So seriously, I'm glad you're able to dismiss your love for Captain Crunch to enjoy us, because I really hate Captain Crunch. That's a horrible cereal. And they had bad toys. They had bad toys in that cereal. Anyway.